to First Lady Fashion and Style, and today we'll be learning how to draft an overbust corset. And like you know, the way we normally do our drafting, we draft the front and the back together. But here, after drafting this front and back, I can separate the draft. We need it separate this time. And then I'm going to put one draft aside while I move on with the other side of the draft, which is the front. We are going to start with the front draft. So you're welcome to First Lady Fashion and Style. Once again, it's been a while and I hope you are learning from this channel. Please let me know if you are gaining from this channel so that I will be encouraged to make more videos. Now this is going to be for the intermediate and the advanced. This channel, we are very beginners friendly, but you know, we have to grow. So today we are moving on to Overbust Corset. If you don't know how we got to this place, don't be lost. You can just check the channel. You'll find a place where I did a detailed video on how to make a full blouse or a full draft of the blouse. So this is just a full draft, but let me go over it quickly so that we'll be on the same page. So here we have the starting line here, and I know that you know that our neck, this is the basic for our neck, which is the 3 by 3. I'm just going to do this very quickly, and then when I get to today's class, then I will slow down. This is our neckline here, and with the slant, I'm sure you know we came here down here by 1.5, and then we drafted our armhole. Is also in the video how you can get your accurate armhole. Here is our chest line here. The first line here is our chest line. The second line here is the bust point line. The third line here is the under bust line. And here is our waist line here. And then this is the full length of the blouse here. Now, so here we have 2 inches here, and this 2 inches is our bust dart, the difference between the front and the back. And then here I connected the lines together to form the shape of our blouse. Now let's go to today's class. We are making a corset, and what are we looking at? We want our corset to be comfortable. We don't want it to be too tight. We want to be comfortable, and at the same time we want it to be well snatched. So now this is how to go about that kind of corset. The first thing you need to do is you go to your waist measurement. Now I'm going to tell you how I got this waist measurement here. The waist measurement, this is the waist here. So the waist measurement you are using, okay, let me just label it. This is the chest line. This is the bust point here, the bust point. Here is the under bust. Here is the waist, and here is our hip line here. So I'm sure you understand to this point. So now we want to make snitching for the waist, because this is a corset. So you go to your measurement and check for your waist measurement. Now the waist measurement I'm using for this draft is waist 28. So you are going to say waist 28, we are going to minus 4 from waist 28, and I'm going to have 24. So any measurement you have for your waist, just minus 4 from it. Now, when you minus 4 from it, you've succeeded in snitching the waist. Now, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to say this 24, we are now going to divide it by 4. Remember, we are drafting just half of the front. That is how we draft. If you are new to pattern drafting, and you want me to do a kind of, you want to know how we do it, just check this channel. We have a lot of pattern drafting for beginners. So here is we'll divide it by 4 because we're drafting just half of the front. So when you divide it by 4, you have 6. Now remember that we are going to add that to this blouse. So you're going to say the 6 plus 1.5, That will give me 7.5. So here I measured 7.5. So I hope you get that. So now if you look at my waist here, the waist is 7.5, which it means I have my snitched waist and my dart here. So right now what we are going to do is we'll talk about the length. Let's work on the lower part first. We'll talk about the length of our corset. Now for the length of your corset to be comfortable, you need to mark it from 19 to 22. Now who can use 19 and who can use 22? Or in between, it depends on your height. So most of the time, from your waist here to form your hip length here, from your waist here, you will come down by 10 to form your hip length. And we don't want, definitely we don't want our corsets to be this long. So what we are going to do is from the waist here, we are going to come down by either 4 or 5. Yes, either 4 or 5 is okay. If you are on the tall side, please use 5. If you are on the brief side, please use 4. Use 4. 4 is okay for anybody. You can either use 4 or you can use 5. And this here is our new hip line. Here, this is our new hip line. So I hope you understand here. So now we are the classes we do here, we make sure that you understand. We take our time to explain so that you understand. Even as a beginner, if you follow this class, I'm sure you will understand it. And if you are learning from this class, the only way you can communicate with me is if you drop a comment, you like, you subscribe. If you don't like, if you don't subscribe, I'll just have a feeling that, oh, you are not learning, so I should not bother doing it again. So now look at now, here is our new length. So let's work on the dart. Now, normally we're supposed to put our dart here, where we have the bust. You can see a thin line here. And how do we get this? Is the bust separation measurement we use for this is 4, is 8. But the bust separation is 8. When you divide it by 2 is 4. So from here to here, I have 4. Now, it's possible for you to just put, this is the waist. It's possible for you to just add your waist dart here and then give it the normal waist dart. The way we normally do it here, you can add 0.75 here, 0.75 here. I'm going to do it I'm going to draw a faint line because I'm going to erase it off. I just want to show you for those that want to have, you see, you just draw it like this to form your waist dart, and then from here you join it to this new hip line. So if you like, you can do yours like this, it works. But for this corset, we want to make it more stylish. We don't want it to be straight, we want it to be slanty. So I'm going to clean off this line here. So if you want yours to be straight, it's okay. But I want to teach another method, and I want us to make this a slant one, not a straight one. The slanted one comes out very beautiful. So let me just return the lines here. So for you to create the slant one, you will come here to the waist here, and then you mark 2 inches from the center front here. You mark 2 inches from the center front, and then from here where you have the center front, you would draw a line from the bust point all the way this way. Sorry, this is the, okay, yeah. You will draw it all the way from the hip line, sorry, the new hip line. You will come in by 2 inches, not from the waist, the new hip line. And then you will draw the line this way and connect it to the bust point. I hope you can see that. The 2 inches, let me use this colored pen so that you will see it clearly. I came in by 2 inches from the new waistline. I came in by 2 inches here and I connected to the bust point. Now on the waistline here, I'm going to put my tape rule and measure out the here and here. That is the 1.5 inches for the dart. So I'm going to do this and mark the dart this way, and I'm going to mark the dot this way. Now here I'm going to connect it to this line here, and then I'm going to connect the line. You know, this is our new hip line, so you connect it this way. I hope this is clear enough. So the next thing we are going to do is the underbust tightening. We want to do the underbust tightening. So what you can do is, this is the underbust. You can see here the underbust. So you come to this side and measure 1/2 inch here. Come to the other side and measure 1/2 inch. There are other ways which you can do this, but I prefer this method. And then you will take your curved ruler this way and connect it this way, and then you put your ruler to the other side and you connect it this way. Now I'm using a colored marker so that you can see what I am doing. Please, when you are doing yours, make sure you use your pencil. The colored marker usually adds more to your measurement, but I'm just doing this just because of tutorial so that you'll be able to see it clearly. That's why I'm using a colored marker. So you can see now we have our dart, yeah, and our waist snitching, our dart and our underbust. Everything is now in place. So the next thing we want to do now is we'll move to the upper part of this. So the first thing we need to do is we need to take this is an overbust corset. So we need to roll the line where the overbust is going to start from. So from your bust point here, you can decide to go up by 4, and you can decide to go up by 3.5, depending on how high you want it to be. If you're making something like a plunging neck, or you're making something that is going to go really down, then it's good for you to go up by 4, or you want to really cover. But 3.5 is also very good. So this is 4 from the bust point, and I'm going to roll the line this way. So this line here is our overbust. This is our overbust line here. So the next thing you're going to do is on the shoulder line here, you are going to put your tape rule here and look for the midpoint. I like to do my tape rule this way to get the midpoint, and then you connect this midpoint to this bust point the way you see me do. So I hope you understand what I am doing so far. So now what we need to do now is we need to tighten this overbust. Now there are 2 methods. There are some people that will say that, okay, from here, just go out by 0.75, here go out by 0.75, or go out by 1 inch, go out by 1 inch, and connect it here. That also works. But at the same time, we just want to be accurate. You know, when it comes to pattern drafting, we don't like to guess. We like to do things accurately. So this is what I'm going to do here. I'm going to slash this place open. I hope you can see the line. I'm going to slash it open. And then I'm going to come to this place where I have my bust. This is the 2 inches bust point. I'm going to slash it. I can slash it by the side. I can slash it by the middle. So let me just slash it by the side this way to open it up. All I just need is I need to open it up. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that this side they align. So I'm going to move my paper this way and see if they align, and if not, mine is on a good line. But you can also, if you put yours this way, you will use your tracing wheel this way to make sure that they align properly. And then when you open it up, you can use your ruler to connect the line. You know, when you connect it, it will show you that there is a dot somewhere here. So you can do it this way. if you look at it, I am saying it, you may not be saying it, but this is what I have here. This is just telling me that there is a dart here, there is a dart here. So when I'm cutting, I should observe this dart that is here. So let's go on now to the upper part here. So for this one now, you are going to open it up this way. You're going to open it up this way. That is, you're going to close this dart, close the dart. Now you are going to measure the space, the opening that you have here. You are going to, after closing this bust dart, you will measure the space that you have here. Now you can see that I have 4. Now 4 divided by 2 is 2. So I will come here, from here, I will measure the 2 out this way. And my 2 is here. Now I'm going to connect these 2. I'm going to connect it all the way to the bust point this way. Now I'm going to measure what I have here on this line. Anything I have here, that is like 1. I'm going to put it on this side, 1. And then I'm going to connect this also this way. Let me close it so that you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to connect it from the bust point, through to this 1, and then I'll just roll it up. Now we have succeeded in tightening our overbust. So the next thing for us to do is to connect the neck. Now I'm going to show you 2 methods here too. The 2 methods are this. If you want to use the yoke, I'll tell you what to do. And if you don't want to use the yoke, if you just want to tighten, if you just want to have it as you don't want to have a yoke, or you want to drape on the yoke. Is either you want to drape on the yoke, or you just want to have it without a yoke. This is how to go about it. Now I'm going to close this place up this way. I'm going to close it up this way. And then if you want to have it, I'm closing up the first line, the line that I wrote. I'm closing everything up here. This is it. To tighten here, to tighten the upper part. So when I do this, then I can now bring my ruler and then construct the neck type that I want. So depending on what you want, you are going to construct the neck you want, depending on how deep you want it to be. I think I'm okay with this type of neckline. Now the next thing that I'm going to do here is this. Once you do this, definitely you are going to have it's going to be a bit tight here. So we need to complete it. How do we do that? Okay, so look at what I'm going to do now. I'm going to open it up again so that you can see what I'm doing. Now what we want to do is we just want to replace the tightening here. We just want to replace it here so that it will be free enough at the top. Now we came out here by 2 inches. We came out here by 2 inches. So what you're going to do is you are going to come here. We came down here by 1.5. So you are going to measure the same 1.5 and you are going to roll it here and join it with this, and then you would come out by the same 2, and then you would mark the 2 here and then connect it this way and form a new armhole. You'll form a new armhole like that. You form a new armhole. So once you form the new armhole, you are good with this. Now, the other method that you can use, if you don't want to go by this method, is for you to measure what you have between this line and this line. Measure what you have between those 2 lines. Like if I measure this now, I have 2. Divide it into 2, you have 1. Just put it after the line here, 1. And then you mark it, and then you draw your line. It's still the same thing, you are good. Now let's talk about, that is if you don't want to use the yoke. So if we do this, we'll just come here, we'll cut this way and cut this way. It means we are good. But now let's talk about if we want to use the yoke for this draft. let's talk about what we want to do now. So if you are going to use the yoke for this draft, what you need to do is close just one side like this. We just want to make it simple. We don't want to drape on it or make it just without. We want to use the upper part. Just close one side. You see that I've closed one side, the other side is still remaining. Now bring your straight ruler and connect from the neckline to the new armhole. From the neckline to the new armhole, just connect it like that. And then if you want the neck to be wider, you can do that. If not, then you see that you are good like this. So now this will now be the new, this here will now be the yoke. This will be the yoke for the draft. And then you will just cut out this place for the draft. Now, okay, so let's move on. So you see that it's very simple. We are done, we are done, we are done. So just one more thing before we move to the back. For the lower part here, for the new hip line, you can just go up by 1/2 inch and connect the 1/2 inch this way. Connect it this way to the hem of the dress. So now what we are going to do is, remember this is your bust dart. So I'm going to close it. This is the bust dart here. I'm going to close it up because you are supposed to close your bust dart up. So I'm going to close the bust dart this way before cutting out. So I'm going to cut this place out right away. So, and then we will go and work on the back. The back is not difficult at all, and it's easy and it's very fast. So let me just cut this so that we can see what we have done, and then we'll move to the back. So I'm going to cut off this side and show you what we have. So, okay, so right now I want to make an offer. If you are a beginner, or you want me, I'm thinking of doing something, I'm thinking of just holding like 5 classes for beginners. And those 5 classes will be talking about, skirts. We'll talk about how to make some kind of skirts. I'll just teach you the basic. You'll be able to do your skirts, align your skirts, do a gown with pockets, and the pocket is fixed together with your dress. If you want me to do that, please just communicate with me on the chats. Just say beginners. Once you write beginners there, I would understand what you are trying to say. When you say beginners, I would understand. So this is what we have here. So I'm going to remove this one too. Just say beginners, and then I would understand. I will just do 5 classes. 5 classes and teach you some basic things on different kinds of gown. I'll go through the gown, I'll go through trouser. I'll just do the basics for everything: the gown, the trouser, the skirt, and then maybe shirts. Just tell me what you want. If I see enough people, then I'm going to do the class. Then also for the advance, if you want me to do the corset design with the new technique, which is the subtraction technique with the conial design, please let me know. I can also do that for you. So this is what we have. You can see this is the top part, and this here is, if you are going to have if you want to have what's it called, a yoke, then this is how you go about it. Now let's look at this now. If you want to have a yoke, because I don't want you to have any issue, I want to show you everything. If you want to have a yoke here, see, I'm connecting everything together. you know this is the yoke, and you can see that this place is not looking straight. So if you need to add paper to it, you can do so. So what we normally do is you get paper like this, and then you will add your paper to it. Here, when you add your paper, add it, make sure that the paper is covering everything, and then bring your ruler and then place it again. Place it again and make sure that everything is smooth. You can see now that I have some, sorry, the paper is not dry yet. I'll make sure, okay, then you put it here. Make sure it is smooth. If you look at some of our videos, you will see me do this a lot to complete the yoke. And then you would cut it out so that by the time you finish and then you fit it in, you fill it up, everything will just go on, everything will be perfect this way. So I hope you can see that. So let's quickly fix the back. Sorry, please, before you cut, make sure you label it. So this is the center front, this is the center front, this is the side front, this is the upper part. Make sure you label it, because at times when these things come in pieces, it can just be confusing. So now let's quickly go through the back. We are almost done. So this is the back of our design. So just like we did for the other one, we have the basic draft for the back. This is the line, this is the chest line, this is the waistline, this is the hip line. Okay, remember that the back is 2 inches shorter. So now we want to, this is the new line for the new hip line. Remember the other one, we came down by 5. So this one too, we are going to come down by 5 from the waist, and then we will draw the line this way. So the next thing we are going to do here is we are going to come down. This is the chest line, this is the waist, and this is the new hip line. This is the new hip line. So here we are going to come down by 1 from here and join the 1 to this chest line this way. Now remember that we have a dart here of 1.5, just like we have in front. So I'm going to take the line. This is our dart line here. Let me make it bold for you to see. This is the dart line, and I'm going up here by 1 inch. 1 inch. This is the chest line. I'm going up by 1 inch. Then here I'm going to take my 0.75, 0.75, and I'm going to form my dart. This is the back, so we don't need any twisting. We can just leave it simple like this. And then when you are sewing, you can use your bone. You can add more to it if you want, but just let's leave it simple like this. Here, let's take 1.5 for our loop at the back. 1.5 here, and then we will connect. This here is to form the loop. So I'm sure you know what a loop is. This, if you are here, you should either be advanced or intermediate. So here, this is it. So if you want to use this yoke, all you just need to do is just think of the style you want. You know how we do it. You can decide to open it up here and just, you can do any style you like, and then put buttons here, or you can open it more. You can open it as much as this or as much as this, and just put button on the ones that are left. So you can see that the back is pretty simple. Don't let's forget that we went up here by 0.5 here, and then we will connect. So please let me know if this class is helping you, so that I will be encouraged to do more. I will be encouraged to do more. So if I have enough people encouraging me, then I will go on and make another video talking about the video about the cornea, the other corset with the shape at the bottom, the cornea shape. So if you really want me to make that video, please send me here? Yes, just write yes on the comments. Yes, yes, yes. If you want me to make that video. So right now I'm cutting the back. I'm cutting the back off. If you want to use the yoke, you can go ahead and use the yoke. And if you are not using the yoke, if you are making a tube, you don't need this yoke for the tube. Make sure the neck, you can put the neck, you can size it anyhow you want it. So don't forget to label. Please label before you cut. So this here is the side for the back, and here is the center for the back. Don't forget to label, and you can even do this for up. These things can be confusing, or even write up, so that you don't mix everything up by the time you start. If you have not subscribed, that is the only way I can know that this video is helping you. Make sure you subscribe. There are other videos that you can watch. We have other videos on other styles that you can watch. So here is the back. We have done a very good job. Here is the back. Here is the front. So you can see our pattern is looking really, really, really lovely. So this is the back, and this is here. This is our front. So please make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. If you want to use the yoke, this is the yoke for the back, and this is the yoke for the front. If you have any question, please send me your question, and thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.